get your money, don't care who judge. Stay out the way, surround yourself with nothing but love. Stay out the way, if you a gangster, killer or thug. Stay out the way, put your faith in the man above. Stay out the way, chill with your family, siblings and blood. Stay out the way, kick it with your girl, forget hit in the club. Stay out the way, mind on your money, ain't no switching it up. Stay out the way, stand out the way, what you thought that it was. Stay out the way. If you stuck down on your luck, not feeling righteous, did a petty crime, just looking for some excitement. Now your name on affidavits and court indictments, get paid for a lot, but your freedom is priceless. You did the crime, you do the time, don't let it surprise you. Real stories from the heart, just to open your eyes up.
Part 3 gang, y'all. Let's get it, y'all. Part 3 gang, y'all. Let's get it. Like, shit, sweat, y'all. Let's get it. Let's go. Man, that jump was crazy. This was a crazy situation. I tell y'all, this is penitentiary. Crazy things happen all the time. Y'all be thinking I'm joking. Crazy things happen all the time. The dude I know just booked somebody's grandma, man, and got her bringing to work through the VI. What y'all think about that? Is he right or is he wrong? Come on, man. Like, is it an age limit on who bring the pack through? Or is somebody grandma? Can they not be somebody that bring the pack through? What y'all think? Put it in the comments, because I'm letting you know now. It was like half and half of people's opinions about this. And the reason why people had opinions about this is because this whole argument that he had with this young boy that just moved in our pod was out in front of everybody. It was in front of everybody, man. So the dudes from his way calming the young boy down. Young boy snapped out crying, say he gotta have Turns, do this and do that. Turns was like, man, it's whatever, man. So Turns went back in the cell. You know what I mean? So I'm seeing kind of like, you know, the dude kind of grouping up with a couple of dudes where he from. You know what I mean? Like, Turns don't really know those dudes like that. Like, he just messing with a lady that's from where they from. Like, but Turns don't really rock with those dudes, man. So like, I wasn't gonna let Turns get jumped like that. You know what I mean? It wasn't gonna happen. I won't, even though Turns wasn't even from Norfolk. Like, I just felt like I rocked with him, and like, you know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, him and the young boy can wreck, but everybody else ain't got nothing to do with that. And that's how I felt about it, you know what I mean? So as a little time went on in the pod for the rest of that day, the young boy was kind of like, I guess he was trying to calm down, and it was to the point where him and Terrence just wasn't speaking no more in the block. But I was trying to figure out, why did he move down here just to make that scene? You would think that he would move down here and be like, yo, bro, I need to get in the car. Like, let me in the car. That's why I was thinking he was moving down here. He came down here to confront, bro. I thought that was kind of lame in my book, man, at the end of the day. But everybody has their own opinion. So I'll say later on that day, Terrence probably pulled back up, you know what I mean? Terrence probably pulled back up. I think he was in his room thinking about it for a while. He probably even called his girl, the old head, and talked to her. He probably sat back and just, you know, just try to like contemplate basically about everything that was going on. So he finally came to my cell. So when he knocked on the door, I let him in. He come in the joint. He like, hey, man, jump crazy. He sat down, went in his pocket, man. He pulled out a big roll up with some steroids. I'm like, where you get that from? I bought it, man. Let that jump, start hitting the jump, you know what I mean? So he passed it to me. He was like, yeah, man, Weezy, look, man, tell me the truth, man. Tell me the truth, man. As he said that, my roommate walked in. So when my roommate walked in, he looked at my roommate. I was like, my roommate looked at him, was like, say it ain't so, man. My roommate funny. He like, say it ain't so, man. He was like, he just shook his head. He was like, man, you booked somebody grandma, man. That joke was funny. I ain't gonna lie. He was like, man, you booked somebody grandma, bro. He was like, man. Let me get both of y'all opinions. I was just asking Weezy before you walked in, man. Y'all keep it 100 with me, man. Am I wrong, man? Having somebody grandma bring me to work, man. Like, everybody got a grandma, so how am I wrong? So I was like, you wanna go? My roommate was like, yeah, I mean, roommate told him straight up. He was like, hey, look, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. If that was my grandma, I would have to have you, man. I just would have had to have you, man. Like, that was my grandma, man. You know, he was like, he did like this, Terrence was like, then he was like, what you think, Weezy? I was like, I mean, to be honest with you though, I was like, yo, I looked at my roommate, I said, bro, listen, it's somebody grandma and people mamas bringing the pack every day in the world in penitentiary, man. Trust me, if it's not the COs, it's coming through the VI. I said, bro, that's somebody mama and grandma. So I'm like, at the end of the day, like, it happens like this, bro. I was like, but it just so happened that, you know, this is a younger dude and he's watching the lady that raised him bring somebody that he don't even know the pack through the VI. So I'm like, he could feel some type of way about that. I said, so my roommate was like, why he moved way down here then? Terrence was like, I don't know. I thought he was moving down here to come like, yo, I want to use the phone. I want to talk, like, you know, to squash the beef with his grandma. He said, man, this man come down here to confront me, man. He ain't using my phone. I was like, I don't blame you, man. I was like, man, but for real though, man, I was like, look, my opinion, I said, man, I think you should keep getting the pat. Y'all know a petty maniac, y'all, so boom. I said, yeah, bro, I think you should keep getting the pat, bro. He was like, that's what I was thinking. I said, I'm saying that because, like, I mean, what can he do now? I said, that man grown, man. His grandma grown. So, like, he can't do nothing about what's happening right now, bro. And, like, what you supposed to stop because it's his grandma? I'm like, come on, bro. Like, I mean, my opinion, I don't think you should. That's just my opinion. He was like, my roommate was like, nah, I mean, I feel y'all. Like, I'm just telling y'all, if that was my grandma, I would have had to hang you. That's what I'm saying. He was like, but as far as if I had an older lady, I had an older lady on the street. He said, my old lady used to kick. He said, I done met all her people. Was like, you know, it is what it is. He was like, man, but at the end of the day, man, like, you know, she a grown woman, man. So I'm like, yeah, you're right. So after we hit the roll up and kicked it for a minute, I guess Terrence felt a little better about himself. You know what I mean? I guess Terrence felt a little better about himself. And, you know, he won't on it like how he was. He thinking about it as far as was he a scumbag? And he kind of was a little bit. But, you know, like, you can't beat yourself up about it, man. You just got to be able to move on and keep doing what you're doing, y'all. So, boom. So Terrence left out feeling all right. And we ain't leave out till the lady said stand by for dinner. So when he came back, that's why my roommate came in and said my roommate was coming back from diabetic call. He go eat dinner early. So he came back. They called stand by for dinner. So I put my stuff on and stepped out with Terrence. So me and him stepped out. So we stepped out. I look at the young boy. The young boy standing over there with his homeboys. Like, he looking like a freaking swole up freaking bouncer over there looking mad. You know what I mean? But I get it though. You know, like, everybody gonna be mad about different things. And I get it though, man. You know, some people are gonna be mad about different things. I can't tell people how to think or move. At the end of the day, people gonna have their own thoughts, man. People gonna feel how they wanna feel, man. So, like, Terrence is gonna have to maneuver around what's going on. That's what I'm thinking, man. So it's getting closer and closer to the weekend. You know, we go to dinner, come back. Him and the young boy not doing no talking. You know what I mean? They're not doing no talking. So it's getting closer and closer to the weekend. So I think somebody in the pod had told him that Terrence had a phone. And the only reason I say that is because Terrence pulled back up on me later and was like, yo, man. He was like, yo, that junk crazy. He was like, man, after all of that young boy said to me, man, in front of the whole pod, trying to call me out in front of the whole pod, telling me he gonna fight me and do all this in front of the whole pod. He said, man, guess what this man asked me, man? I was like, what? He was like, man, that man asked me when he used my jack. I was like, how you know you got a jack? He was like, man, I don't know. Somebody told him. You know what I mean? I said, what you say? He was like, man, I told him he can't use nothing. Yeah, I'm with the grandma now. I'm cutting them off like the grandma. So I'm like, man, that's I was like, you clapped him, bro? He was like, yeah. I was like, you clapped him, bro? He was like, yeah, I clapped him. Yeah, I clapped him, man. He was like, man, he walked away looking stupid. You know what I mean? So I'm like, man, that junk crazy. So, like, that had happened. So this like Wednesday. That happened like on a Wednesday. So we getting closer. Terrence ain't saying nothing to him. He ain't saying nothing to Terrence. So the dudes that the young boy know, that's in the block, that's definitely from his city. Like, it's a couple of them that I rock with. It's one of them is Popcorn roommate. You know what I mean? So, like, I would talk to him from time to time because I would duck off a popcorn sale from time to time to bag up, to do little things, to use the jack off, to use the jack real fast. There's different little things, you know what I mean? Popcorn ain't want nothing. Popcorn ain't want to use the phone. Popcorn ain't want to do nothing but chill, get a roll up in a feezy. That's all Popcorn cared about. So at the end of the day, that was my little duck pad, you know what I mean? Where I used to be able to go do stuff like that. So I would see his roommate in there sometime, and like, man, his roommate would kick it sometime too because he was a cool dude too. So I remember going in there to give Popcorn some roll-ups. So I'm walking in the jump. So when I walk in, his roommate coming right behind. He's like, oh, excuse me, so I'm like, oh, I get out of his way. He come in the jump. So when he walk in, I sit down on the box. He came in, he started messing with stuff over the top bunk. Popcorn was sitting on his bed. So he walk in, I was like, hey, look, bro. He's like, what's up? I was like, hey, man, what's going on with that big youngin' y'all got out there, man? Dude look like a freaking young psycho, man. I was like, man, what's going on with that? He was like, man, you know, I told him, he was like, my opinion, bro, I told him his grandma grown, bro. Like, I told him, he was like, my opinion, bro, I told him his grandma grown. Like, you know, I told him she grown, she gonna make her own decisions, she gotta have a boyfriend, you're not gonna agree with all the things that your grandma gonna do or whatever the case. He was like, man, guess what he say? I was like, what? He was like, he ain't trying to hear that. He said, he ain't trying to hear that, man. He said, if dude come back to this VI with something that his grandma brought, man, he was like, man, you gotta have him. You know what I mean? So I'm like, y'all ain't planning on banking him or nothing. He was like, what? Over that? He was like, no, I mean, like, no, we ain't banking him. Like, he was like, man, listen, at the end of the day, that's between them. As long as they don't get out of hand, everything good. He was like, what? Young boy called a young boy name. He's like, young boy can handle himself though. You know what I mean? So I'm like, man, that's crazy though. I was like, I don't want to see them go at it behind that stupid stuff. So Popcorn was kind of in the dark slightly about what's going on. He's sitting over there trying to figure everything out. He's like, who you talking about? Talking Terrence. I'm like, yeah. He was like, man, Terrence crazy, man. So the young boy, so the dude is a Popcorn sale. Like, man, for real, like, I don't got him really doing that though. But he say, if he come back from that VI and he got something from his grandma, bro, he gotta hang him. You know, I'm like, that's wild. That's crazy right there. So I leave out, go back downstairs. I'm chilling downstairs for a minute. You know what I mean? I look up, I see Terrence coming from out his cell. Terrence is posted up on the railing by his daughter. So Terrence standing on the top tier. So I'm downstairs waiting on my homeboy. So I just went and sat on a little brick wall joint. And I told y'all the police be coming in when they come in. Like I just backed up. I still can see the front door. I'm at the edge of the wall. But I just jumped up and sat on the joint. So I still can see the door. But I'm waiting on my homeboy to come back. So I'm just sitting there. I got my back to the pod. So I'm sitting in the joint. Sitting there. Next thing you know, I just see the young boy just pull up. You know what I mean? He pull up like beside me. Like I'm sitting down though. Like I'm just imagine somebody sitting on the wall, my legs swinging, pause. Like he come right beside me, he pull up. He was like, "Hey, it's Weezy, right?" I was like, "Yeah, what's up, bro?" He was like, nah, you ain't gotta jump down, ain't nothing like. I was like, cause I was about to jump down off the little wall. It wasn't a high jump. I was like, nah. I was like, what's up, though? He was like, nah, look, it ain't nothing that type of party. He was like, but look, though, I just want to ask you, though, man, like, do you think he right about what he doing, man? I see he rock with you, man. Somebody need to tell him, man. Do you think that's right what he doing, man? I jumped off the wall. I was like, yo, bro, listen, man. I said, bro, everybody growing in the world, man. You know what I mean? And I said one thing about it, bro. Let me tell you something, bro. How these narcotics come in this penitentiary, every penitentiary in the world, bro. I said, best and believe it's a female, it's somebody mama, sister, daughter, or somebody grandma, man. I said, that's just how I go in the world, bro. We can't change that, man. That's just what's happening, man. He was like, I mean, I get that, man, but like, man, that's my granny right there, though, man. Like he, I feel like she don't want to do it. I feel like he forcing her to do it. And then I'm like, bro, listen, you gotta chill out, bro. I said, bro, listen, you trying to tell me that he's forcing her to go pick the work up from down our way, bag the work up, put it in her boobs, and bring it in the VI. You telling me he's forcing her to do that? He was like, man, I'm saying my grandma be gullible, bro. Like, she always had boyfriends that use her and all of that. I remember when I was young, man, she's always had these dumb dudes that she be messing with. She like young boys all the time, da-da-da-da. So he just going on. I'm like, yo, listen, man, you gotta let grandma live her life. You know what I mean? I said, your grandma, she gotta live her life, bro. Like, your grandma got a life too. I hit him with the baby boy jump, man. Your grandma got a life too, y'all. So boom! Young boy was like, wow, that's all I wanted to know. I was like, oh, bro. I grabbed him by his arm a little bit. I didn't mean to, but as he was walking, I was like, oh, young boy felt stocky as hell, y'all. I was like, oh, bro. He was like, I was like, yo, bro, you gonna rumble him over that shit? Like, yeah, he come back through with that shit. Damn right. I'm like, young boy walked away, y'all. So boom. I was like, man, shit, wow, man. So I didn't know what to do after that. So stay out of this business. This is crazy business right here. This is actually family business right here. Like, you know, Terrence is in a predicament where, you know, it can go either way. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I don't know if the young boy just welling about he gonna do something to him, or if the young boy really gonna do something to him. Like, what would y'all do if y'all was in the young boy's shoes? Would y'all do something to Terrence? Or would y'all tell Terrence to make sure you break bread real good? Which one? I think I would have to tell Terrence to break bread real good, because if my grandma's bringing the package, how can I tell her to stop bringing the package, y'all? So boom. We already know. We can't tell our grandparents nothing, man. I don't have no grandparents on both sides of the family. But if I did, my grandma, how we gonna tell our grandma how to move? Y'all tell me that. It's impossible. We can't tell our mama how to move. Think we gonna tell our grandma how to move her mama? It's not gonna work, man. So I don't know how this is gonna turn out. That's how I was feeling about it, man. So now it's Friday. Now Friday get here, and it's getting closer and closer to this weekend. Everybody trying to just figure out. Terrence trying to figure out what's going on. You know what I mean? Seeing that, I don't know if Terrence picked me and him down there talking, but he didn't say nothing to me that night about it. He waited till the next day when we was going to lunch. And that's when Terrence usually come out. He don't come to breakfast. He don't never do that when he come out for lunch. So Terrence came out for lunch. When he came out for lunch, he seen me. He was like, hey, what that young boy was talking about, man? I seen you down there at the brick wall talking to him. I said, man, that man asked me, was you right about, do I think you right about what you doing with his grandma? He's like, what you say? I said, bro, what do you mean when I say I was on your side when you was in the cell? I said, bro, I told you gotta keep doing you, man. Like, you know what I mean? I'm with you on that one, man. He was like, yeah, he running around here trying to get everybody to turn on me because his grandma do. Man, I ain't trying to hear that wheezing. I'm going to get that pack tomorrow. Yeah, I said, bro, you going to get that? He was like, yeah, she bringing me to Flaco and the La. I was like, yes, sir. Yes, sir. I know I'm a lot. He was like, man, you always a lot. You good, Weezy. I was like, yeah, bro. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I just didn't tell him keep doing what you're doing just because I wanted that La, y'all. So boom. Even though I love the La, I want the La to come through. That wasn't the reason why I said what I said. I was giving them my true, honest opinion about how I think this situation is. You know what I mean? This is a stupid situation, but at the end of the day, you know what I mean? This is what's going on, man. So Saturday roll around, man. You look up, you see Terrence down there at the brick wall, ironing his clothes. Old head always come through about after lunch. He like this. He hitting his shirt, putting a nice old crease in that joint. He got that joint spread on the brick wall on some sweet joint. Like he hitting the nice parts on the back of the shirt. He ironing that joint perfect with the headphones on. He like, Terrence ain't thinking about that big young boy. I come out to look. I was like, it's right before count. I come out and look. Let's look at Terrence, man. I was laughing. Then I looked again. Then I looked over there where the young boy was at. Young boy was standing back there like this. He was his homeboy. He was like, whole time Terrence iron. Terrence ain't thinking about this guy. So Terrence get his stuff ironed. Terrence go right back to his cell. Walked up the stairs right past them dudes. Went right to his cell, man. Time for lockdown. We locked down for count. You know what I mean? Soon as count clear, ladies say, count clear, pop the doors. Everybody starts stepping out. I step out and look. I see Terrence down there with his button up on already in the jeans. He got his Timbs on. You know, he already dressed. He waiting for the lady to drop his pass down before he can go to VI. So he like this. He put the shirt. He like, he ready. He like, the lady come to the jump. Drop the pass. I told you the booth is up in the air. The lady dropped the pass. That jump floated like a feather. That jump was like, he caught it. He was like, psh, caught that jump. He was like, put it in his pocket. She opened the slider door. Psh. Terrence went to VI, y'all. Went to VI. I looked at the young boy. Young boy was just walking laps in the park. We came back from child. Young boy was walking around like a maniac, y'all. So boom. But he's thinking. Because I know what he's thinking. He's thinking, should he do what he want to do? And that's get at bro for making his grandma do something that she's voluntarily willing to do. It's crazy, man. I know that's what he was thinking about, man. So he fall back for a minute. I was like, man, for real. I was like, man, just on the script for the world. I was like, man, one more time for this jump, man. I was like, man, I'm standing by the door. I look. I seen him. He finished walking those maniac laps. I was like, I walked over back by his cell. Yo, bro. He was like, I was like, yo, look, man. He gave me the Kendrick Perkins face. He was like, I was like, hey, look, man. I said, look, dude's chilling in here, man. You know what I mean? I said, ain't no need for you to clash with him, man. I said, man, you in a good block now. I said, just relax, bro, and just take the fruits of your labor. I said, that's your family, so he got to play fair with you. I said, that's why when you found out who he was playing fair with you, bro. I said, bro, he played fair with you off the top just on the strength that y'all kind of like family now, bro. I said, but come on, that don't mean nothing. That don't stand for nothing, bro. He was like, nah, bro, that's disrespectful, man. Right now, man, my grandma's in the vision room not seeing her grandson because of my mom. Because of my mama, she don't mess with me. She cut me off because of my mama, bro. Now she in there bringing a nigga from Tidewater to work. Man, that's fucked up, bro. I was like, man, look, bro, you need to calm down. He was like, nah. 2 tears came down his face again. He was like, nah, that's messed up, man. I ain't feeling that, man. I was like, oh, bro, Mr. Lala player, bro. Come on. He was like, man, I was like, bro, look, it ain't worth it, man. He was like, nah, man, that's disrespectful, man. He wiped his face. He was like, that's disrespectful. Nah, man, that's disrespectful, man. Don't worry about it. When I see her on the street, I'm gonna check her too. Yeah, I was like, bro, listen, you can't check your grandma, man. Come on, man, that's grandma, man. He was like, man, nah, get that, man. No, sir. He snapped down. I'm like, shh. I tried, y'all, but this man's mind is made up, man. So boom. This man looked angry the whole freaking time. Bro in the VI for a minute. They call outside rec after lunch. Everybody go outside. I stay in. I'm not going outside, man. I look, everybody outside. I try to look out my window to see if I see who was on the yard, to see if I see the young boy was out there. You know what I mean? I don't see him. You know what I mean? After that, I'm sitting in the cell. I'm like, man, after I get off the phone, I put the phone back in the clip. I was like, let me get some ice. I went down, went on my cell, hit the steps. Man, got me some ice. Still there, cup overflowing. Cup in my hand, I'm like, I take my peanut butter jar over to the sink. Peanut butter jar had 2 Kool-Aids in it with a sugar twin gang, you hear me? Put that joint in the peanut butter jar, filled it up. Shook that joint up like I'm at a bartender game. I'm like, then you pour it on the ice. It's a great Kool-Aid drink, y'all. So boom. I'm waiting. I'm seeing what's going on. As I'm pouring the Kool-Aid, I turn around. Young boy back there in the same spot like this. But this time he's strapped up. He got somebody else's shoes on because he didn't have no shoes. He was wearing somebody like fake Timbs. So he got somebody's sneakers on there. You know what I mean? So he's really looking like a real evil psycho right now, man. I ain't joking, man. He's looking like a real psycho with his pants tucked in his socks. So he's standing there, he like. So I'm like, man, Lord, man, young boy in the joint, man. So I go back in the cell. When I go back in the cell, I go back to the window and look again. My window, I can see somebody coming from the other side of the yard and coming down the sidewalk like they're supposed to go to 30 building. I can't see everything, but I have a view of that from my cell. So when I look, I seen Terrence standing at the gate, outside of the gate by our building, talking to the dude. He got his blue shirt out of his pants. You know what I mean? He done got it unbuttoned a little bit. He's standing there, he feeling good. He like this. The wind hitting his shirt. You know what I mean? He got that junk like, yeah, he out there junk talking. Stood out there for a little second. Then he finally came back in. He was just standing at the front of the door. He was just standing at the front of the door. I look at the young boy. Young boy was like, still looking evil. Turn standing at the front of the door. Next thing you know, the slide open up. Dudes start coming back from outside, wreck from everywhere. Dudes, let me get back to the shower. Dudes running. Everybody come back in the pod. Everybody coming back in. So I'm like, man, it's crazy, man. So I come down the steps. I'm like, man, let me see what's going on out this joint. So everybody moving around. I tell my homeboy, I was like, hey, look. Hey, man, let me see your boy, man, go do something turns, man. That junk crazy, man. So as I'm doing that, Pop was like, hey, Weezy, come here. I was like, what's up? He's like, come here, man. I was like, man, I just came down the steps. He was like, come here. I said, boy, and I'm like, I run up the steps. Get up the steps. What's up, man? He's like, come in the cell. Walk in the cell. He's like, hey, look. He's like, man, my roommate said that Big Young about to try to rob Terrence if he got that work. I was like, for real, man? I was like, man, go ahead. He was like, man, look, you ain't hear that from me. He said he gonna try to get him. I'm like, man, he already said he was gonna do something anyway, so it ain't no secret. He was like, nah, but he's serious this time. I said, he got a weapon? He said, nah, he ain't got no weapon. I don't think he got no weapon. I ain't nothing about no weapon. So, all right, I shoot back down the steps. Terrence was standing at the front door. I walked up to him. I was like, hey, bro, look, be on point, bro. He was like, what's up? I was like, be on point, man. He was like, man, I'm on point. I'm on point. What's good, though? I was like, man, he said, Big Young gonna try to get at you, man. You know what I mean? He was like, man, he could try. Yeah, I was like, man, bro, just be careful, bro. You know what I mean? Like, cause like this is a whole different ball game right here, man. You know what I mean? I was like, bro, just be careful. I said, cause that's a big youngin' right there. You know what I mean? He was like, yeah, that's a lot. So he stayed at the door for a minute. As soon as he started walking, going up towards the steps, he went up the steps. I see the big young boy come like this, right behind him. A minute behind him, young boy hit the steps like bad dudes. He knocked on the door. Stood back like this. Terrence opened the door. Can't hear what they saying. Young boy saying something to him. Next thing you know, young boy swung the door open, man. That's my word. He swung the door open. I'm downstairs looking at this shit. This shit was fucking like two fucking monsters colliding, man. Cause fucking I didn't know Terrence can thump. Terrence is tall. The youngin' is big. Man, that's my word. Young boy swung that goddamn door open like Terminator. That nigga went in that bitch. Man, all you heard was boom. You got me fucked up, young nigga. Fuck my grandma. I look, man, they got Terrence in the air like this. I'm like, oh, no Terrence. Terrence wiggle out that shit. That nigga fall. Both of them fall. Boom. Both of them hit the ground. Everybody looking from the bottom. The niggas that's on the top, they up there looking. So goddamn, Terrence running that nigga. That nigga was like, nigga, you gonna fucking wish my grandma? Niggas in that bitch thumping. So they get up and start thumping again, they square off. They thump again, boom. So they thumping in that motherfucker, that's my word, they thumping in that bitch. Terrence like, you ain't getting a motherfucking thing from me. The fuck is wrong with you? You ain't getting a motherfucking thing from me. So the young boy got down. I guess the young boy was feeling like he couldn't get Terrence. That nigga came out the pod. Went to his man cell. When nigga went to his man cell, man, came back out. This nigga had a fucking adapter. He done tied it up in a shirt. It wasn't even on a sock or nothing. It was an adapter in a shirt. Man, but you can see it. It's hanging. And he got shit in his hand. He come back up the steps. So when Terrence seen that shit, man, this is my word. Terrence went in the goddamn cell, closed the door. Boom. Terrence closed the door. He was like, nah, bring your ass out. Bring your motherfucking ass out. Nigga, you won't fucking risk my grandma. He got the fucking adapter in the shirt. He like, yeah, bring your ass out. Terrence like, man, fuck you. Put that weapon down. We can fight. Young pussy. Put that weapon down, you niggas' problems now. All y'all niggas do is pick weapons up. Young pussy, come on. He was calling that nigga a young pussy. I was like, damn. He's like, come on, you young pussy. Now, come on, you young pussy. Yeah, nigga. That nigga was like, man, that nigga start snapping on the door. That nigga was like, blow. On the fifth jump, he was like, blow. And that jump exploded. That jump ripped his shirt. There was adaptive parts everywhere, y'all. So boom. I was like, oh shit. Nigga looked. Lady in the booth was like, what are you doing? She was on the intercom. She's like, what are you doing? She hopped on the jump. Quick. She hopped on the phone quick. 2 minutes later. Police come in that motherfucker. They stormed that motherfucker. What you doing? Come down here. He came in. What the fuck is that? He was like, they was like, what you had in that shit? He was like, adopted. They was like, what the fuck you at? Turn around. They handcuffed the young nigga. They get his stupid ass. I'm like, oh shit. So we got down Terrence on the top tail watching that shit like, you know what I mean? So the lady came to the joint and she was talking to the sergeant dude from the intercom at the bottom. You could hear it though, because she's loud. She was like, yeah, he was trying to get in cell such and such. The dude turns went and let him in. He called and told me don't open this door for nothing on the intercom. That's what made me look. So when I looked, the dude was banging on his door with a weapon. So she gave the police the whole story. So they locked the young nigga up. Terrence didn't get locked up. Terrence getting locked up. That shit was crazy, man. The young boy was wilding though. The young boy was all the way wilding, man. So the young boy was gone. They ended up putting the young boy back on the other side of the yard when he got out. So this is like 2 weeks later. He didn't stay in there long. This is like 2 weeks later. So after that had happened, Terrence didn't have no scars, no bruises or nothing. He wrecked the young nigga. They was wrecking. He was like, man, listen, that young nigga strong as an ox. I said, bro, I looked up and seen that nigga had you in the air on that body slam. I said, bro, I thought it was over. He was like, I wiggled out that motherfucker. He said, we both failed. I pulled him down. He said, we both failed. Fuck that veteran move, Weezy. I said, man, your ass crazy. But I like that though. So me and him joking about it, man. So everything had went back to normal. I'm gonna be honest with y'all, man. Everything had went back to normal, man. And Terrence continued on doing him. He continued on doing him, I'll say, for about another month. Man, one day Terrence went to that VI. Nigga come back. A nigga that always go to the VI, that's in our party. He come back, was like, yo, Terrence just got tore off in the VI. And he was like, what? He was like, yeah, he got tore off in the VI. Him and that old lady. I'm like, man, get the fuck out of here. He was like, man, the police ran down on her ass. Terrence had to work inside a chip bag. They took that shit, took him, took the lady. It was a wrap. I was like, man, get the fuck out of here, bro. Niggas won't joke it, man. So the outcome of this story is, man, Terrence did get that lady late. That was the word, that he got that lady late, man. She got locked up in freaking Emporia County and all that shit. She got out and shit though, but like, I think she had to go to court for that shit, man. Terrence was done. They never let Terrence out the whole, like, he was out of there, man. You know what I mean? He was done. And that's how that shit happened, man. That lady got tore off, man. So I know the young boy was on the other side of the yard, super angry about that information when he finally heard it, man. But that's how shit going in penitentiary, man. Shit is unpredictable in that bitch, man. And goddamn, that nigga Terrence got the old lady late. It's fucked up, man. It's a dirty job. I get it, man. But somebody got to do it. And that's just that, man. Somebody got to do it, man. So that was a crazy situation. That's the end of the damn story, though. Man, I appreciate y'all for watching another one, man. Y'all already know what it is. Stay y'all ass out the way. Kids need you. Your family needs you, man. Everybody needs you, man. Not to get locked up. So just stay out the way. That's all I'm telling y'all. Period. But y'all already know what it is, man. This was the weekend banger game. So I need you to do this one. This one, y'all. Skip. Let's go. But be safe out there, y'all. And stay your ass out the way.
Get your money, don't care who judge. Stay out the way, surround yourself with nothing but love. Stay out the way, if you a gangster, killer or thug. Stay out the way, put your faith in the man above. Stay out the way, chill with your family, siblings and blood. Stay out the way, kick it with your girl, forget hit in the club. Stay out the way, mind on your money, ain't no switching it up. Stay out the way, stand out the way, what you thought that it was. Stay out the way, if you stuck down on your luck, not feeling righteous. Did a petty crime, just looking for some excitement. Now your name on affidavits and court indictments get paid for a lot, but your freedom is priceless. You did the crime, you do the time, don't let it surprise you. Real stories from the heart, just to open your eyes.